Hello, I'm Catherine Gruen. I'm in 6th grade. My school is Signum Crucis Academy. My story is Saving Grandmother's Tree. Elizabeth Tibbets, Mother called, using her full name. Get your jacket on and come outside to help us. Dark smoke billowed from the smudge pot and filled the air beneath the orange trees. Father struck a match and lit another smudge pot. A smudge pot is an oil-burning device used to prevent frost on fruit trees. Lizzie hugged her knees. She wished there'd be a different, safer way to protect the tree and fruit from dangerous freezing temperatures. The sun started to set. 6 smudge pots were lined in a row between the trees. The strong stench of smoke crammed its way through the crack in the window. Choofa, choofa, the pots chanted in unison. Lizzie wished she could gather the courage to start the smudge pots, lightening the load her parents had. The orange grove had been divided into quarters. One of those quarters had been entrusted to the Tibbetses. Her parents were the caretakers throughout the year. Lizzie wrapped herself in a blanket and pulled herself away from the window. She could not bring herself to go outside when it involved fire. She set to work making a warm soup, since she knew that her parents would be tired and hungry when they came back. Lizzie sparingly sprinkled salt over the soup and stirred it. The soup simmered in the pot. The clock ticked and twilight dawned. Lizzie heard a knock and left the wooden spoon in the pot. She pulled open the door. Choofa, choofa, thousands it seemed of smudge pots beckoned, sirens, Lizzie thought grimly, and greeted her parents as they came back from their tiring work. Even though it was California, the mild winters could still be freezing. Mother started to unbutton her jacket. I know you are afraid of fire, Lizzie, but you really must try to overcome your fear. She unwrapped the scarf from her neck. Thank you for cooking dinner. Lizzie smiled half-heartedly, still watching with a worried eye the flames that shot out of the smudge pots. After a silent dinner, she walked the few steps to her room at the back of the house. From her window, she could see the oldest tree in the grove, the one that had been planted over a century ago, Grandmother's tree. In the same manner, days passed. Her mother and father were burdened with loads of work, never once forgetting to light the smudge pots next to Grandmother's tree. Lizzie pulled the covers up to her chin. The stars twinkled brightly. Tonight was extra chilly. Lizzie looked out the window to Grandmother's tree, expecting to see fire shooting out of the smudge pot. But it was nowhere to be found. Surprisingly, the smell and the sight of it would have been welcome. Though Lizzie had been previously sleepy, she was wide awake now. Choofa, choofa, the other smudge pots teased Grandmother's tree. The smudge pots and oil are in the shed, she recalled, and the matches are in the pantry. Before she knew what she was doing, she had pulled on her boots and wrapped the warm woolen scarf around her neck. Creeping down the hall, Lizzie found the pantry and switched on the dim lights. Her hand hovering over the cabinet door, Lizzie realized what she was doing. Lizzie Tibbets, she thought, scolded. What do you think you're doing? How can you expect to light a fire for the first time without the help of Mother or Father? At first, she was about to wake her parents. They'd been out all day working in the orchard. How could she wake them up when it was already midnight? Steeling herself, she reached for the matches, and before she could regret it, stuffed them in her pocket. Cold air blew in her face and she opened the door. Quickly, she ran to the shed and heaved a smudge pot to the clearing where Grandmother's tree stood. Lizzie dashed back to the shed and took the can of oil in her hands. Finally, the oil was poured in, and the smudge pot was directly next to the tree. Lizzie drew the matches out of her pocket. She had come this far, only one strike, one touch to the oil, and it would be over. Lizzie took a deep breath and with a shaky hand lit the match. She let the flame touch the oil. She brought her hand back and blew as hard as she could. The flame flickered and burst forth from the smudge pot. Lizzie stepped back, watching the fire. Elizabeth Tibbets had done it. She had saved Grandmother's tree.
In order to prepare, we went to the Citrus State Park in Riverside, and we took a tour there and learned about the different types of oranges and a little bit about the history of the orange groves. And we had also gone to a Covina city orange grove type field trip where they gave us some history on that. And we also read some books and looked online, researched a little bit about Eliza Tibbets and her role in bringing the navel oranges to Southern California.
I think a contest is a good way to get students to write stories because it gives them a reason to if they don't like writing, and then it gives them a reason to be excited, a chance of winning, and stuff like that.
To have pride in our state, it's important to learn about California agriculture. There's so much to learn, and so much, it's not our own little section. Basically, pride in our state is a reason to learn about agriculture.
I think it's important for students to learn about agriculture because it helps them learn about all the work that goes into making your food.